Hello and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. Today I have an interesting, independently produced deck to share with you. It's called the Melanated Classic Tarot, inspired by Rider-Waite-Smith, by Julia Goolsby Oubria Tronshaw. Says on the box, representation matters, especially with archetypes of magic and power. There's no other information on the box. There's an image on the front, same image on the back. And I'm presenting this to you. I think it's an important deck. There are lots of conversations to be had about diversity and inclusion. There's all kinds of controversy around this and whether I should be presenting this deck or not, whether I should even own this deck or not. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to say I really like this deck, and I'm going to show it to you. It comes with a little fold-out sheet in lieu of a little white book, and this just has a greeting. It says that it was illustrated by Julia Goolsby, written and produced by Oubria Tronshaw, and my dealings online were with Oubria. I can't remember where I first heard about this deck, but you have to, I believe, email Oubria in order to acquire it. And also, I'm not really sure about the production of it. It took a long time for me to get. It was about 2.5 months. And I think I did get a notice, an email notice, right after I placed my order that indicated that there was production delay by the manufacturer of about a month because of COVID-19. That explains the first month. The second month I'm not sure about, because yeah, it took like almost 2.5 months, and yet I got an email, I think Saturday the 13th, that I should be receiving it by Tuesday the 16th, and it actually came on Monday the 15th. So I'm not sure what happened during the production time. The shipping came really fast from Saturday to Monday. So anyway, so this deck has, this guide has the major arcana and minor arcana, simple one-word keywords for each card, and also indicates planetary influences over the major arcana. Not quite sure why. Looks like there are a few cards that have more than a single word, short phrases. But basically the whole thing is on two sides of one little sheet that comes in the box. The colors are bright and vivid. These are the backs. I think there's also, there might be a guide I think you can access via Oubria's website and a downloadable PDF. I'm not really sure. These are the backs of the cards. It's the 8 of Wands. Not sure why she chose that for the backs. Must be significant, but I don't know what the significance is. The colors are very much in keeping with traditional Rider-Waite-Smith decks and designs. Very bright, cheery colors. the line work isn't as detailed, I would say, maybe as a regular deck. It's more like, I don't want to use the word simplified, but the lines, there's sort of less shading and more just almost like outlines. There is some gradation in color. You can see there in the orange, yellow skies in the background. And also there are various shades of skin colors in this deck, dark colors. Some of the skin tones are so dark as to make it difficult to discern details on the characters, but that may also be influenced by the fact that the lighting in my apartment is really crappy, so it's a little harder for me to see. I think there was a note somewhere in her online that made a reference to Pamela Coleman Smith, the originator of these drawings, as being biracial, and yet at the time that she originally did the drawings in 1909, she was basically told or instructed by A.E. White or the publisher, writer, or I'm not sure who, to make all the characters in the deck Caucasian, despite the fact that she was biracial. She didn't really have a choice in the matter. This one, I think, it has a definite target audience, market audience, of which it's not meant for me, I don't believe, but I'm very happy to have it. I'm glad it exists. I think it's important to have. I think the representation is important. There's a couple of little artistic things I might change. I don't really like the eyebrows and heavy eyelash in this moon card. The eyebrow, I mean, it looks a little peculiar, the illustration. And it's a little heavy in that one, too. I love this. I love the painted nails in the aces. I love the coloring. It's really neat. Now this one, the Three of Wands, is usually one of my favorite cards. One thing I found curious in this one is there are no ships in the water, and you won't be able to see probably because of my camera, but in this one there are little hands poking up out of the water in this one. Or I'm not actually even sure if it's water or land, although there are little lines under the hands that could indicate that that's water. Although, no, I can't remember now in the original card if the water is yellow due to the sort of sunset or whether it's a different color. Yellow might be more in keeping with desert or earth than sea, but the hands appearing out of the water is definitely a different symbolism than we're used to seeing. I think in all the other cards, it's pretty traditional. I actually love that this deck is a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And the only thing different, really, is the representation in pigmentation. Otherwise, I think all the colors are accurate to the original, and all the costumes and all the elements. These are regular tarot size cards. Oop. It's decent thickness, not too thin, not too thick, just right. Not glossy, a little bit of a sheen, as you can see. As usual, apologies about my lighting and camera work. I'm not sure, I'll have to go search again whether I can find Oubria's website. If I can find it, I'll list it below in case anybody wants to acquire this deck. I think it almost is particularly appropriate that this became available to me the week of Juneteenth, and that's why I've scheduled this to share with you today. This one, I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's you can see a face in the background. That sort of adds a different symbolism to the card that not sure about. The font is very bold, easy to read, almost overpoweringly bold, but it works. So as you can see, these are borderless cards. And did I show that one already? And there are only labels on the major arcana. Oh, and the aces and courts. I think that's the same as the regular version. This one, it often gets obscured in usual illustration, and all the elements are very, very cleanly depicted in this particular card. It's very abundant there with all the grape clusters. So, thickness of the deck, usual. Feels slick, nice, easy to shuffle. Yes, it's a joy to shuffle. So there you have it, the Melanated Classic Tarot.